Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Chemistry Paper 4 3D Extended. For the session October-November for the session of 2023, we have the subject code 062042 is the paper variant. We have 1 hour 50 minutes for the paper and the total marks for the paper is 80. So we're gonna solve this paper in a way that you can understand easily all of the questions. So moving to question number 1 from our paper. Table 1.1 gives the electronic configuration of some atoms and ions A to G. Electronic configuration, what does the electronic configuration show? Electronic configuration show that how many number of periods they have. They have 2 periods, and it also shows how many valence electrons in their last shell. So their last shell is 5th. So and the last shell, number of valence electron in the last shell will also tell us the group number. So group number is 5 for it. So we can predict easily A25, B28, C282, D284, E has 3 shell, 285 and last shell carry 5 electrons. F has 286, 3 shells and last shell is carrying 6 electrons, and G is carrying 2, 8, 18 and 7, 4 shells and 4 periods, and the last shell is carrying 7 electrons. Answer the following questions from A to G. Each letter may be used once or more than once or not at all. State which of the atoms ions A to G could be. First part is A, that is noble gas. Okay, so you could see the maximum number of the elements in the table. So we're gonna use it. A is, so noble gas means this valence shell should be completed. So this valence shell 2, 8, last shell should carry 8 mass, so it belongs here. So our noble gas is B. This is the noble gas because it contains 8 electrons in the last shell. An atom of element in the group 6. We know that group 6 has the last shell has 6 electrons. So 6 electrons we can see in F. So answer is F. Moving to C. We know that atoms from an atom with an atomic number of 14. Atomic number is 14. So we're gonna see that which is showing 14 atomic number. We can say 2 plus 8 plus 4. It is showing 14. 2 plus 8 plus 4 is equal to 14. So our answer would be D. Okay. Atoms from the same D part, you can see now. Atoms from the same group. Okay, atoms from the same group. Now you can see atoms from the same group, dash and dash. You need 2 elements that are in the same group. A have 5 electrons in their last shell. E also have 5 electrons in their last shell. So we're gonna write A and E over here. A and E. Moving to the F part, a halogen atom. Halogen atom contains 7 electrons in their shell, last shell. So this answer should be G because G is carrying 7 electrons in their last shell. Moving to F part. F part is an atom of element which is good conductor of electricity. So good conductor of electricity, it means should be metal, and we know that 282 now you can see. So this option would be C because it is a metal. A stable ion of group 5 element. Stable ions mean it has accepted 3 electrons. So we can say that it would be B because it has accepted 5. A stable group of 5 it is an ion. So if ion is stable, it means that slot shell is completed. So slot shell is completed only in here, so we can say that it is B, because slot shell was completed and it was stable ion. Okay, moving to the last part. An atom that forms an ion with -2 charge. With -2 charge, an atom with ion, it would be, it means that it lose it accepted 2 electrons. Its answer would be F286, so it would be F. This is how we have completed question number 1. Question number 1 was easy question, carrying some of easy concepts here. Moving to the question number 2. Okay, now hopefully you can see the question now. Okay, question number 2 is that copper and cobalt are transition element. We know that transition elements have high melting points and high density. They are hard and they are conductor of electricity. They form colorful compound. These are the some of the characteristics that you should know about transition elements. Copper has 2 naturally occurring isotopes, copper 6 Cu63 and copper Cu65. Cobalt has only 1 naturally occurring isotope, Co59. Complete table 2.1 to show the number of protons, neutrons and electrons in the cobalt 59 and atom and the copper 65 plus 2 ion. So we're going to use the periodic table. We know that cobalt has, from the periodic table we can see that it has 27 electrons. You can see from the periodic table it would be like this. And for copper it would be 29 and number of neutrons would be 59 minus 27, that would be 32. Same here, you can subtract 65 minus 29, it would be 36. Electrons, we know that for an element number of electrons and protons must be equal, and it is an ion because it loses 2 electrons, so it would be less than 2. You can calculate 29 minus 2 and answer would be 27. So this was an extremely easy part. We're moving to the question number, moving to its other part. Table 2.2 shows the relative abundance of 2 naturally occurring isotopes of copper. Calculate the relative atomic mass of copper 1 to 1 decimal place. So we need to convert it to 1 decimal. We know that 63. You can divide 70 by 100. It would be 0.7. So you're gonna multiply by 0. And also 30%. 30 divided by 100. You're gonna get 0.3. 30 divided by 100, you're gonna get 0. It's the same here. 70 divided by 100 would give 0.7. So you're gonna add them by multiplying by their relative abundancy. 65 multiplied by 0.3, we're gonna get the answer that is equal to 63.6, because we need to provide our answer to 1 decimal place, so that atomic mass would be 63.6. One physical property of transition element is such as copper and cobalt, they are hard. Other metals such as lithium are softer. State 2 other physical properties of copper and cobalt which are significantly different from the lithium. So we know that they have high density, they have high melting point, and they form colorful compound. You can write any two from them. High density, high melting point, and they form colorful compound. You can also write that they form colorful compound. Moving to the next part of this question, part C. Both copper and cobalt can form colorful compounds. Some of these compounds contain water of crystallization. Define the term water of crystallization. Water crystallization is the water attached to the salt like CuSO4.5H2O. They are also called hydrated compounds. So we're gonna write that the water molecules present in hydrated crystal. So we're gonna write that the water molecules present in hydrated crystal. Moving to the next part, state the color and formula of the hydrated cobalt chloride crystal. Okay, its color would be pink, which you need to memorize. Its color would be pink, and the formula for the it would be COCl2, cobalt chloride. State the color change seen when a few drops of water are added to anhydrous copper sulfate. What does anhydrous? Anhydrous mean it loses the water compound from. Its color changes from white to blue. So you're gonna write white to blue. Next one. State how this color change can be reversed. Heating up the hydrated copper sulfate, this can be reversed. Heating up the hydrated copper sulfate. This is how we have completed our question number 2. Now we will move to question number 3. Okay. Question number 3 is that iron is manufactured in a blast furnace. Three of the starting materials added to the blast furnace are coke, iron, ore, and limestone. Name the other starting material that must be added to the blast furnace. So we can say that this is the extraction of iron. So we're gonna use some other compounds. So here we can add hot air. So we're gonna write hot air as our answer. Moving to is B part. The source of the iron in the blast furnace is Fe2O3. Fe2O3 is found in an iron ore. Name the main ore of the iron. The main ore of the iron would be hematite. So you're gonna write hematite over here. Next part is the iron in Fe2O3 reduced by the reaction with carbon monoxide. The unbalanced symbol equation is shown. Complete the equation. Fe2O3 would reacts with carbon monoxide would give us carbon dioxide. We need to balance it. First we need to see iron has 2 elements, so we're gonna write over 2 over here. Now we need to balance other. We know that oxygen is 3 plus 1 4, and here oxygen are 2, and carbon here is 1, and here also the carbon 1. If we write 2 over here, it would be 4. Then we have to write 2 over here, 2 3 5. So oxygen will not be. So if we write 3 over here, 3 2 is 6, then 3 plus 3 would be 6. So we're gonna write 3 and 3 over here. You can see that carbon has now 3, oxygen has 3 plus 3, 6, 3 2 is 6, oxygen is 6. This is the complete balancing equation. State the change in the oxidation state of iron in the reaction into from dash to dash. The oxidation state is changing. Here oxidation state is positive 3 and here the oxidation state is 0. Now explain how the change of oxidation number show the iron has been reduced, because its oxidation number is decreased, that's why it is reduced. So I'm gonna write that oxidation number has reduced. Oxidation number has reduced. Next part, the major impurity of iron ore is silicon for oxide. Limestone is added to the blast furnace to remove this impurity. Write two symbol equations to show how silicon for oxide is removed. For each equation, state the each type of chemical reaction that take place. Okay, first we add limestone. CaCO3 and it decomposes into calcium oxide plus oxygen. This is the type of in chemical reaction we're gonna write: thermal decomposition. Equation number 2, SiO2 react with this calcium oxide and it will form slag, that is CaSiO3, and this type of chemical reaction is known as acid base reaction. Acid base reaction. Moving to the D part of this question number 3. D part is that, okay, you can see that iron is converted to steel by mixing it with carbon and other elements. State the term given to a substance which is a mixture of a metal and other elements. This is a very simple question. That term is known as alloy. So steel, bronze, these are the example of alloy. Moving to the next part, name one element other than carbon mixed with iron in the making of stainless steel. We can add nickel or chromium. So you can write either one of them, nickel or chromium. Preventing the rusting of the iron is important. State the chemical name of the rust. Chemical name of the rust is hydrated iron oxide. Hydrated iron 3. You have to mention this hydrated iron 3 oxide, or you can write simple Fe2O3. Moving to the next part, F part, steel can be coated with zinc to prevent rusting. This provides both a barrier method and sacrificial protection. State the term used for coating steel with zinc. So that would be called as galvanizing. Galvanizing. Moving to next part, describe another barrier method for preventing the rusting. It is called coating with another or painting. Painting or coating with another layer of plastic. Next part, explain how zinc provides a sacrificial protection. We know that zinc is more reactive than iron. Zinc is more reactive than iron, so it can be used as a sacrificial element, and zinc oxidizes rust instead of iron. So zinc oxidizes rust instead of iron. Moving to question number 4. Question number 4 is that the question is about the lead chloride PbCl2. A student prepares a sample of insoluble lead 2 chloride PbCl2 by mixing aqueous solution of two salts in a beaker. Okay, identify two soluble salts for making lead chloride when mixed together. So that would be lead nitrate and sodium chloride. So you're gonna write that lead nitrate, lead 2 nitrate and sodium chloride. Next is write the ionic equation for the formation of lead 2 chloride by mixing aqueous solution. Include state symbol. This question is carrying 3 marks and you should mention the state symbol. So it would be lead ion Pb plus 2 Cl minus 1 would give us Pb Cl2. We need to balance it as well. This is here chlorine 2 elements, so we're gonna multiply it by 2 over here. These are the ions, they would be present in the aqueous solution, and this is the salt, and this would be in the form of the solid. For 1 mark would be writing the equation, second mark would be given when we balance, and third mark is given when we write the state symbol of the equation. Moving to third part, list the 3 steps that should take in preparing a pure sample of lead 2 chloride from the mixture of the beaker. I have already written that there are the 4 steps, but you can write 3 of them. React the 2 soluble salts into a beaker and then filter the precipitate form. Wash the residue with water and dry the residue using the filter paper. This is how we're gonna get. You can memorize it. You can with the help of react, filter, wash, dry. React, filter, wash, dry. Okay. Moving to this other part, B part. Okay. This is. The students carried out an electrolysis experiment on molten lead 2 chloride. Using the apparatus shown, chlorine gas forms at anode and escape from the apparatus. We can see that the power supply from here, and we need to label it, or for oversimplification we're gonna label that. We know that it's the molten lead chloride, so we're gonna use here Pb plus 2, and this would be Cl minus 1. Cathode would be negatively charged. We're gonna say that this is negatively charged and this is positive charge. So we're gonna write cathode over here, anode over here. This is just for your understanding. Then chlorine ion will move to here and form 2Cl negative, which would prepare Cl2 plus 2 electrons. Then Cl2 would be emitted from here, and this is how we're gonna show that. Okay, explain why lead, the question is now we can explain the question. Explain why lead to chlorides, 1 minute, now you can see the question. Explain why lead chloride needs to be molten before it will conduct electricity. Because mobile electrons or moving electrons will be available, so that's why. So we're gonna write there, free moving electrons or mobile electrons are available, that's why electricity will flow. Next part, write the half ionic equation for the reaction at the anode. I have already written when I was labeling that it would be 2 chloride ion minus Cl2 plus 2 electron. State the test for the chlorine gas. Test will be damp litmus paper, and we need to also write the observation. So I'm going to write that damp litmus paper. Hopefully you can see in the camera. Next is observation. It will bleach turns white to green yellow bubble. You can write that it will bleach and it turns white. Okay, describe what is observed at the cathode. Shiny gray solid would be observed at cathode. So we're gonna write that shiny gray solid. Now moving to question number 5. Second last question of the paper. Chemical reaction can involve transfer of thermal energy. State the term used for the transfer of thermal energy during a chemical reaction. The term is called enthalpy change. Enthalpy change, which you show delta by delta H. Okay, tetrachloromethane gas CCl4 reacts with steam as shown. CCl4 plus 2H2O. Reversible reaction gives us carbon dioxide plus 4 moles of hydrochloric acid. The reaction is reversible. The Favre reaction is exothermic. Okay, state what happens if anything to the rate of the Favre reaction, which is important. If the concentration of CCl4 is increased, it means concentration over here is increased. Explain your answer in terms of collision theory. So we need to refer our answer in terms of collision theory. So we can say that rate of reaction is increased because we have more concentration of CCl4. Rate of is increased. More particles per unit volume. More particles per unit volume increases the frequency of collision. With CCl4 and H2O. Now moving to the next part, state what happens to the position of equilibrium. State what happens if anything when the pressure is increased. Okay. We know that equilibrium will shift to left because there are few moles. You can see from the equation here. Okay, now you can see the question in the equation as well. You can see that 1 mole of CCl4 is here and 2 moles of, so reactants have 3 moles and product have 1 plus 4 5 mole. So equilibrium will shift to the lesser mole, so that's why it will shift to the left side, because reactants have less moles compared to products. So we're gonna write that equilibrium will shift to left. Equilibrium because there are few moles on the left hand side or left side of the equation. You can write either of it. Now moving to the next part of this question. Next part of the question is, okay, now you can see the question. Figure 5.1 shows the incomplete reaction pathway diagram for the forward reaction. CCl4 plus 2H2O gives CO2 plus 4HCl. This equation was written in the earlier part of the question as well. So on figure 5.1 we need to insert the formula for the reactants and the product. Draw an arrow, label E. A means activation energy, show the activation energy, draw an arrow, and label delta H to show the transfer of energy in the reaction. So we need to label the diagram for this part of the question. Okay, so first we need to write down the reactant, that are CCl4 in the gaseous form plus 2H2O, that is also in the gaseous form. Now we will draw the line like that, and this line would also be like that, and this their difference would call as activation energy EA, and it will produce CO2 in the gaseous form plus 4HCl in the gaseous form as well, and this part would be called as delta H. So this is how we have completed the label diagram for it. Now moving to the next part, define the term activation energy. Activation energy is the minimum amount of energy that is required by the particles to must have for the reaction. So we're gonna write the minimum energy that colliding particles must have to react. State one way in which the activation energy of a reaction can be changed. By using a catalyst we can change it. So I'm gonna write that by using catalyst. Now moving to other part C. The equation for the reaction between tetrachloromethane gas and steam can be represented as shown in the figure 5.2. CCl4 plus 2H2O gives CO2 plus 4HCl. Table 5.1 show the bond energies. You can see that We have been provided with the bond, and using the bond energy in the table 5.1 and delta H value for the reaction to calculate ACl bond energy using the following step. Okay, examiner have mentioned the steps as well. Calculate the energy needed to break the bonds in the reactant. So energy would be 4. There are 4 CCl4 bonds, 4 CCl4 bonds, and 2 and there would be 4 OH bonds. So we're gonna calculate it like that: 4 into 340 plus 4 into 460. We're gonna get it 3200. So we're gonna write 3200 kilojoule. Next part, calculate the energy release. Okay, calculate the energy release when the bond in the carbon dioxide form. So we know that energy release has 2 carbon double bond with oxygen, and they are equal to 2 into 805 is their energy. That would be equal to 1610 kilojoule. 1610. Okay, next part is calculate ACl bond energy. And delta H is given, that is minus 130. Okay, calculate the ACl bond energy. We know that the product has the energy of product is 3300 and we have also calculated 1610 plus 4 ACl bond. ACl have an energy of 805. That would be equal to 33 for ACl bond. For ACl bond, ACl plus 4 ACl, which we need to find. Okay, it is equal to 330, and for ACl bond would have energy 330 minus 1610. That would be equal to 1720. Now dividing 4 to 1720, we will get 430 kilojoule per mole. So I'm going to write 430. Product have the energy of 3 then plus 130 equal to 330. Okay. Hopefully you have get the understanding. Moving to question number 6. Question number 6 is the part from the organic chemistry. A homologous series is formed of an organic compound whose number have similar chemical property. Give 2 characteristics that are same for all they have the same functional group, same general formula, same chemical properties. You can write as well same chemical properties. Now in terms of structure, state how one member of a homologous series differ from the rest, from the next number of homologous series. Well, we can say that it would be like CnH2n. So it would differ for in case of alkene by a CH2 unit. A, B, C are organic compound. A has a molecular formula of C12H24, that is alkene. B has the name of tetradecane, that is alkane. C has 3 carbon atoms and in the homologous series with the general formula of CnH2n plus 1 COOH, that is carboxylic acid. Okay, name the homologous series. Each organic compounds belong to A, B, C. This is a simple 3-mark question. A would be alkane, it would be alkenes, and it would be alkane, and last part would be carboxylic acid. This was easy question. Moving to the other part, name, see and draw its displayed formula. C is would be propanoic acid. Propanoic acid. Propanoic acid have 3 carbon, C, C, and C. Here we're gonna attach OH group and double O, and rest would be H, 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 and H. O. This is how we have draw the. First you're gonna write 3cc, then double OOH, then complete all bonds with hydrogen. Okay. Amino acid are a homologous series where each member has the general structure shown in the figure. The R side chain contains the carbon and hydrogen atom only. An amino acid has a relative molecular mass of 103. Deduce the formula of R side of the chain in the amino acid. So we can calculate easily. We know that it has 4 hydrogen atom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And hydrogen atom has a mass of 1. So I'm writing it for so you can understand. And 2 carbon atoms, 1, 2. The carbon atom has a mass of 12, so you can write 12. And we know that 1 nitrogen has a mass of 14, and 2 oxygen atom has a mass of 16. You're gonna add them, it would be equal to 74. Now we know that the total molecular mass is 103. So 103 minus 74 we can get is 29. So molecular mass would be 29. Okay, we need to deduce the formula as well. We know that R is the alkyl group. If we take 2 carbon atom, their mass would be 24, and 2 carbon atom would need 5 hydrogen atoms, so it would be like that, 5 hydrogen atoms and 5, it would be equal to 29. So the formula would be C2H5 for R. Moving to the last part, state the name given to the natural polymerides formed from the amino acid monomers. They are called as proteins. So this is how we have done the paper. I hope you get the understanding of this paper. If you do have any queries related to the paper, you can ask in the comment section. If you do understand this paper, and do share with your friends and fellows who needed help in this subject, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching it. Allah Hafiz.